Now we will see how the part number 3, that is a bearing bottom of can be modeled. So for the bearing bottom of which is given here, they have given the front view and the right side view. Okay, so with help of this front view and right side view, we have to get the 3D model of the bearing bottom of. And as it can be seen here, okay, so it is having inner circle and outer circle, and here it is looks like a cylinder. Therefore, this is actually this particular component is hollow semi cylindrical component. It is hollow semi cylindrical component. So therefore we can go for creating this hollow semi cylindrical component by using revolve option. But when we want to use the revolve option, we need to create the profile of the component about one side of its axis. So in this case, this is okay. So this is the center of the which one? This is the center of the bearing bottom of, and this center corresponds to this particular line here in the side view. So therefore this will be the axis. Okay, so therefore with respect to this axis in the side view, okay, I need to create the profile. Now the profile is given in this hatched mark. Okay, so this hatching represents the profile of the bearing bottom of. You can see like it is like stepped cylinders here. Okay, here the outer one is having larger diameter. Okay, next inner cylinder is having smaller diameter. Again the middle one is having again smaller diameter. So therefore these diameter values are given here. Okay, so therefore what I do is with respect to this particular axis, now I am going to create this hatched profile first. Okay, but while creating this hatched profile, uh, don't consider this sketch corresponding to 5 mm height and diameter of 6 mm, because okay, this particular portion represents the small cylinder of diameter 6 mm and height of 5 mm placed onto one of the uh, curved surface here. Okay, it is attached to one of the curved surface. Okay, uh, one of the curved surface as it can be seen in the uh, front view. Therefore it is a small cylinder, so therefore it should not be created when we go for creating this hatched profile. So therefore you should neglect this 5 and 6 mm values here, and you need to create one horizontal line up to the axis here. So let me show you how this model can be done now. Okay, go to the part, go select OK, and go for selecting the right plane. Now select the right plane, go for sketch tab. There you select the sketch command. Okay, then select line command now. Okay, so by selecting line command, first I am going to construct one vertical line. Okay, so I will draw one vertical, no, instead of vertical line I am going to draw one horizontal line first from here to here, which represents the axis. So let me from the origin, okay, let me draw one horizontal line first, and then what I do, I will also create one vertical line here. Okay, so this vertical line also corresponds to the vertical axis here. Then from this point I will draw another horizontal line up to here. Okay, so I will draw another horizontal line up to here. Okay, so then I will draw one vertical line up to here now. So one more vertical line will be drawn. So just try to create this hatched area now. Okay, so in order to get this hatched area, we need to draw one more horizontal line now. So horizontal line here, then vertical line, again horizontal line, then vertical line. Okay, so then again horizontal line. But while drawing this last horizontal line, okay, so don't go for creating this vertical line for 5 mm. Simply draw the horizontal line up to here, up to the axis. So therefore draw it up to here, and then connect it to the starting point. Okay, when we did that, I think a small extra line has included here. I'm going to delete it. Okay, so we have one more line here. Okay, so now what I do is I will select this particular line, and these two lines will be selected, and I will make them as for construction purpose. Okay, they are the axis lines. So then what I do is I will select I will select these entities here, and I will go for mirroring them now. So okay, so click on the mirror entities and then select okay, I think already included. So since we had constructed the axis, once we selected those entities and once we clicked on the mirror entities, okay, so we've obtained the left profile. So let me repeat this step. So let me press Ctrl Z. So what you have to do is go to the mirror entities, then select these entities here, and then select the axis about which the mirroring has to be done as this one. Okay, so then click on OK now. Then also select this middle line here, okay, and make it as for construction purpose. Once it is done, we can go for a adding the dimensions. So first I'm going to add the dimension here, smart dimension. So I will define the distance from this axis line to here. So this should correspond to the distance from this line to this line corresponds to this outer circle here. So this outer circle is having diameter of how much here? 50 mm. So therefore the distance from this line to this line should corresponds to the radius of 50 by 2. Okay, first define that. Once that is done, so I will go to this horizontal line now. So the distance between this horizontal line and this line corresponds to this particular horizontal line corresponds to the first dashed circle when we are moving from outer side to the inner side. That is this one. And this particular this first dashed line corresponds to the diameter of 38 mm here. So therefore, the distance from this line to this should be 38 by 2. Once this is done, next I am going to define the distance between this horizontal line to this axis. So this corresponds to the distance from this center to the inner dashed circle here. Okay, so inner dashed circle that corresponds to this inner dashed circle corresponds to diameter of 35. So therefore, what we need to do, we have to select this. Okay, and we have to give this as 35 by 2. Okay, so and next this particular next we need to give the distance between this line and this line here, and this particular line corresponds to the inner solid circle here. This inner solid circle corresponds to the diameter of 25 mm. So therefore the distance from this line to this should be 25 by 2. Okay, so this has to be done. So therefore all the diameter values have been given as radius now, and now it is the time for giving the length values. So length values can be seen in this view, because you need to remember that part number 3 is the bottom of and part number 4 is the top of. Okay, and both will be okay geometrically similar, except that in the top of there is going to be a hole here, and in the case of bottom of there is going to be a small cylinder. Okay, other than that both the geometries are similar. Okay, that's why okay they have given the diameters with respect to the part number 4, which are also valid for part number 3, and they have given the length values of the uh, which one bottom offs with respect to the which one top bottom off. Okay, so say same lengths are valid for the bottom bottom off also. This is top off, this is bottom off. Okay, so therefore these values are also valid for this particular component. So now let me go for defining the overall length here. So this overall length, okay, this total length now can be taken as 50 as per the drawing, and then I'm going to define the next smaller value. Next smaller value here is 36. That is distance between this line and this line, means the distance between this line and this line should be how much now? 36. That can be entered here. So the distance between these two should be 36 now. Okay, and next one is 22. That is distance between this line and this line, which corresponds to this line and this line here. So therefore it should be 22 now. Select this line and this line, this should be 22 now. Okay, so therefore now you can see the sketch is fully defined now. I will exit from the sketch. I'm going to keep this sketch in isometric view now. So this is how it appears. Okay, so now I'm going to use features. I will go to the features command tab. There I'm going to okay, and there I'm going to select revolve command. So select the revolve command, okay, and select the axis. So since there are two axes, software is not automatically taking about which axis the material should be revolved. So I'm going to choose this horizontal axis here. Okay, and now it is showing like it is trying to add the material for 360-degree, but as it can be seen here, okay, it is a semi-cylindrical component. It is having 180-degree angle. Okay, so therefore material should be there only for 180-degree. So therefore what I do now is here I will give the value as 180. So when you give the angle as 180, it looks like this. Okay, so this is how it appears. But if you want to really show it as horizontal, you can go to the direction, you can turn the direction to, and here you can add 90, and here you can add 90. So then okay, means you try to, so this is our which one sketch. Okay, so this is the sketch we have created in the right plane. Okay, so towards the clockwise direction and towards the anti-clockwise direction, means go for adding the material for 90-degree 90-degree. So then we are going to get this component like this. Okay, so now if you try to keep this in isometric view, it is going to appear like this. Okay, and if you try to keep this in a front view, it is going to appear like this. And if you try to show the hidden edges now, we will see the concentric semicircles like this. Okay, so you can see concentric semicircles. Okay, so now almost this component is matching with this front view given here, but we are not getting this dashed lines here. Okay, so these dashed vertical lines and horizontal line represents this particular portion in the side view, and as it is given here, it is diameter 6. Means diameter 6 means, so this should be cylindrical component, and it should be, its height should be how much, 5 mm. So therefore, what I do now is and this particular cylinder, small cylinder of diameter 6 mm and height of 5 mm, should be attached to the inner surface here. That inner surface corresponds to this. That inner surface corresponds to this inner dashed circle here. Okay, inner dashed circle. So therefore, what I do now is I am going to create. Okay, so this step is very important. So just observe how I am going to create that small cylinder now. So I am going to bring the model to the solid form now, like this. Okay, so then what I do is I am going to calculate what is the distance from, okay, this bottom face of the cylinder with respect to the axis here. Okay, so with respect to the axis, this particular line is at a distance of how much? So this particular line corresponds to the inner circle here, and this inner circle is having a diameter of how much? Inner dashed circle is having a diameter of 35. Okay, 35 mm. Therefore, the vertical distance from this particular point to here is 35 mm plus 5 mm additional distance we have to move down. Okay, so 35 plus 5, it will become how much? 40. So therefore, what I do now is I will go for creating a reference geometry now. So new plane has to be created. Go for selecting a new plane. Wait for 10 or 15 seconds. Once you click on that reference geometry under that, when you select the new plane. So now, okay, so what we do is we have to use, so from which plane we have to get the new plane, so that has to be defined here. Okay, I want to get the new plane from this particular face. Okay, so I am selecting this particular face as my reference plane. From this one, I can go for creating new parallel plane now. So that can be increased, the distance can be increased here like this, or I can go in the opposite side also. So flip offset, so go like this. So now that new plane should come at a distance of, okay, at a distance of how much now? It is 35 plus 5, 40 mm. So therefore, at a distance of 40 mm now, I am going to create an not 40, it is 40. Let me correct it here. So these are diameters actually. So therefore, this inner circle corresponds to the diameter of 35. Okay, so then half of that will become 17.5. Okay, so if it is 17.5, then distance from here to here is 17.5. 17.5 plus 5. Okay, it will become 22.5. So therefore, what I do now is I am going to give this distance as 22.5 here. Okay, and I will try to keep this in front. I will try to keep this in right side view. You can see. So this is where I am trying to create a new plane. Okay, so this is the new plane location. Okay, which is at a distance of 22.5. Then create it. So once this new plane is created, I am going to select that new plane, and on that plane I am going to make a sketch, and I am going to make that particular plane. Uh, I'm going to keep that particular plane in the top view. Okay, so this is how I'm keeping. Now I'm going to select circle command, and I'm constructing a circle. You need to imagine now, like this particular circle is creating on the newly created plane. Okay, so select draw one circle now, and for this circle, okay, we have to assign the diameter equal to, okay, how much? The diameter of the this small cylinder here, that is 6 mm. So this diameter should be given 6. So once it is done, you can keep it in isometric view now, and you can tilt here. You can see this particular circle has been created at a distance of 22.5 mm from this top face. Okay, and also the sketch is fully defined now. I will come out of the sketch mode, and then what I do is I'm going to add the material within this circle. So for that, I will use the extrude option. Okay, now we can add the material in the upward direction, or we can add the material towards this inner surface. So I need to add the material up to that inner surface. So I will use this as up to surface. So now up to which surface we have to add? Up to this particular surface. So this particular surface has been selected in pink color now. Okay, so select that particular inner surface of the cylinder. Okay, so then click on OK. So therefore now you can see small cylinder has been constructed, or small cylinder has been attached to the inner surface of this cylinder here. Okay, so Now if you want, you can retain this plane one. Otherwise, what you can do is right click on this plane one and click on this hide option. So hide it. So now if you try to keep this in front view, and if you turn on the hidden edges, you will be able to see that small cylinder as a hidden and with some horizontal edges and vertical edges here. Okay, so this is exactly same as this view here. Okay, so and then if I try to keep this in now right view, so it is going to appear like this. So this is the right view. So this right view is matching with this right view here, and this front view is matching with the created this is top view, this front view here. So therefore the model is correct. So I'm going to save the file now. Okay, so first I'm going to bring this back to solid form, and I'm going to save this file as part number 3 now, and this is bottom of. Okay, is that clear? Now quickly I will also show how the part number 4, that is top off, can be created, because as it can be seen here, part number 4 of the part number 4 of this plumber block assembly is bearing top off. Okay, so as I already told, this bearing top off and bearing bottom off both are geometrically similar, except that in the top off there will be a hole, and in the case of bottom off there will be a cylinder. Okay, so what we can do is we can go for saving the file of bottom off one more time. So I will go to the file here. Okay, and I will select save as, and I'm going to save the file of bottom off as top off now. So the bottom of file part modeling file, okay, will be saved as a top off. Okay, in the same folder. So save it means same file of the bottom of should be saved as top of. Okay, then what we need to do is, so what is the only difference between this bottom of and top of? There should not be this cylinder. If this should not be present, then okay, so in this top of, we have to first remove this cylinder. Added cylinder should be removed. So how it can be removed now? So just I will go to this boss extrude one here. Okay, because on the left side of this SolidWorks layout, okay, you can see the which one features. You can see the feature manager. In the feature manager, you can also see the sequence in which we have created. We have added the entities. Okay, so if I click on this boss extrude one, you can see now this small cylinder is highlighted. Means this should not be there in the which one top of. So what I do, I will right click on this. I am going to delete this one now. Okay, and by deleting, I will also click on delete observed features, then click on OK. The moment we do this one, okay, so this small cylinder is disappearing now, and it is almost like top off now, but in the top off there should be a hole. So in order to make this hole, what I do is I will select this top face now, and I will click on the, I will select the sketch command, and I will go to the top view, and then I am going to create one circle now, where this circle has to be created. So this hole is present exactly on this vertical axis, okay, of the top of. So therefore we need to create a circle for 4 mm diameter, okay, at the origin here. Okay, so therefore at the origin, so go for creating a circle and define the diameter of the circle as 4 mm. Once this is done, you can see here sketch is fully defined. Exit from the sketch mode, keep it in isometric view, and verify where actually we have created this circle. It has been created on the top plane. You can see here, so it has been created on the top plane, or that particular sketch is is on the plane uh, plane corresponding to this selected face here. Okay, so therefore select this sketch 3 now, and go for using extrude cut option. Use the extrude cut option now. Okay, and we need to cut the material up to the inner surface of this cylinder here. So go for throughout cut, okay, through all, and then click on OK. Now, okay, so you can see we have made a hole, okay, in the top of. So therefore if I try to keep this in a front view now, and if I turn on the hidden edges, okay, so you can see there is a hole here. This particular front view is matching with the front view given here. Okay, but only difference now is okay, I think this is shown in the vertical orientation. Okay, so this is shown in the downward orientation. Okay, irrespective of that, the model is same. So the wall is present here, the wall is present here. Okay, so then if I try to change the, if I try to get the right view now, So this is the right view. This right view is matching with this one. So again there is a hole of 4 mm diameter here, and that hole is present here. So therefore the front view and top view of this particular top of are matching with the front view and side views given in the part drawing sheet. So therefore this modeling is completed. So bring the model to the solid form and go for saving this as a top of part. Okay. So this completes the modeling of part number 3 and part number 4. Okay. So next we should go for creating one bolt and two nuts. That is one load nut, another lock nut should be created, and shaft should be created. Okay.